This page features the cover of Saturn Fan Magazine, showcasing a prominent anime character against a blue planet background. Main headlines highlight key Sega Saturn titles of the era. The cover story is a detailed strategy guide for Sakura Wars, a groundbreaking title on the platform. Also featured are previews for games like Kakyusei, Lower Classmate, with large screen reveals. And coverage of Virtua Fighter 3, an arcade port discussion is likely given the label. Enemy Zero, and Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story 2. The bottom section teases features on major RPGs including Lunar, Silver Star Story, Shining the Holy Ark, Legend of Oasis, Legend of Thor, Tactics Ogre, and Dragon Master Silk. This issue, number 21 from October 18, 1996, promises in-depth coverage of several highly anticipated and popular Saturn games across various genres, from tactical RPGs and fighting games to adventure and dating sims. This page delves into Riglord Saga 2, known internationally as Mysteria 2 or Blazing Heroes, a tactical RPG and sequel from Camelot Software Planning and Sega. Building upon the foundation of its predecessor, this entry boasts a dramatically powered-up, overwhelming 3D battle system featuring varied terrain and refined strategic depth. It highlights numerous impactful event scenes brought to life through dynamic camera work and polygon environments that react to the action, like cracking ground or erupting volcanoes. The game significantly enhances the skill system and technique animations, promising over 200 unique moves. Furthermore, the world map is touted as being 3 times larger than the first game, with the story unfolding across a new continent, delivering a more expansive and dramatic narrative. The page features striking key art of the main characters and screenshots, showcasing the game's tactical combat grid and graphical style. It notes the game was released on November 8 for 5,800 yen. This coverage underscores Riglord Saga 2 as another major RPG release highlighted in this issue. This page announces Enemy Zero from Warp, a title described as an interactive movie presenting a unique vision. Set primarily in space, the game is presented with a strong cinematic focus, aiming to blend film-like storytelling with gameplay. Key themes highlighted include digital sadness and the ephemeral nature of digital media, suggesting a deeper narrative ambition. While emphasizing its movie-oriented presentation, it confirms it functions as a game as well. The page features the game's title in striking red and white, alongside the large pink Warp logo, and a rendering of a character, likely the protagonist Laura Lewis, in a futuristic setting. This highly anticipated Saturn exclusive was slated for a December 1996 release, packaged across 4 CRODROMs for 6,800 yen. This page features a vibrant spread, with the left side highlighting a charming simulation/racing game titled Hypersecurities. It showcases 3 anime heroines in police-like uniforms, promising a fun experience based on training these young women to maintain peace and order. Screenshots hint at card battle elements and strategic area defense mechanics. This title was slated for a December 1996 release on both Sega Saturn and Windows 95. The right side provides the magazine's detailed table of contents, offering a preview of the wealth of information within. Headlining the main features are deep dives into major Sega titles that defined the era, including the groundbreaking strategy RPG Sakura Wars, the highly competitive mech combat of Cyber Troopers Virtualon, the revolutionary arcade fighter Virtua Fighter 3, and the cooperative light gun action of Virtua Cop 2. The contents also cover ongoing reports on highly anticipated games like Far East of Eden, The Apocalypse IV, and Galaxy Fraulein Yuna, alongside the atmospheric adventure Enemy Zero, which was previously discussed. A significant section is dedicated to RPGs, spotlighting major releases such as Lunar, Silver Star Story, the Tactical Classics, Legend of Ogre Battle, and Tactics Ogre, and Shining the Holy Ark. Further sections cover strategies for games like Street Fighter Alpha 2, various rankings, reader contributions, and previews of upcoming titles like Mighty Hits and Jewels of the Oracle. This page kicks off the full strategy guide for the adventure and simulation hybrid, Sakura Wars, following up on the previous pages mentioned. Featuring key character Sakura Shinguji, this guide covers the first 5 episodes, offering complete support for both the adventure segments and the tactical simulation battles. It promises to show players the best routes for increasing trust with the characters and provides map-based strategies, making the simulation parts accessible even for those less familiar with the genre. The page also includes a developer interview with Sega director Ruri Takeuchi, highlighting the meticulous detail put into the game and discussing how the girl's trust levels dramatically influence the combat scenes. The guide itself is set to continue on the following pages. This page kicks off the full strategy guide for the adventure and simulation hybrid, Sakura Wars, covering the first 5 episodes. This page kicks off the full strategy guide for the adventure and simulation hybrid, Sakura Wars, detailing the events and gameplay of the first chapter. It covers protagonist Ogami's early days in the imperial capital, introducing key members of the Flower Division including Sakura Shinguji, Iris, Sumiere Kanzaki, Kana Kirishima, and Maria Tachibana, through various events and free action segments within the Imperial Theater and Ueno Park. The guide emphasizes that choices during these adventure parts, particularly during free action, are crucial for building trust with the team. The page then transitions to the game's first battle sequence, where the Flower Division sorties in their Kubu mechs. The strategy section describes the simple, flat map, featuring basic weak enemies, Zako, and a boss, the Kubu. It suggests using special attacks to quickly clear groups of enemies, and highlights that the boss can heal when low on health, but is otherwise manageable. Maria provides a helpful battle lecture during this initial fight, to ease players into the tactical combat system. The overall focus for this chapter is on getting familiar with the game's rhythm and characters, before facing more complex challenges. This page continues the Sakura Wars guide, focusing on the events of the first chapter after the initial battle. It introduces the energetic inventor, Li Kohran, detailing her arrival at the Imperial Theater, and how interactions with her during free action segments, including minigames like Hanafuda, affect her reliability score. The guide then shifts to the next major battle in Shiba Park, a map characterized by uneven terrain, requiring strategic movement to navigate elevation changes. The objective is to defeat all weak enemies before confronting the boss, the Shadow Samurai. Tactical advice includes gathering weaker enemies for efficient clearing with special attacks, effectively using the fixed mortar for long-range support despite the terrain, and utilizing steam replenishment spots to maintain mech durability. The boss, Shadow Samurai, is unique as its shadow form is immune to normal attacks until damaged twice, revealing its true, more dangerous form. The page also briefly introduces Ayame Fujieda during a night event after repairing the damaged stage. This page dives into Chapter 3 of Sakura Wars, where the focus shifts to Maria Tachibana's peculiar behavior and the arrival of the incredibly strong Kana Kirishima. The guide details free action segments, including sparring sessions with Kana, explaining how these interactions influence character reliability. An intriguing event involving Maria and a mysterious rocket is also highlighted, suggesting a deeper plot point. The chapter features 2 main battles. The first takes place at a Kokikai venue, presented on a map where navigating terrain is key, and the objective isn't to defeat every enemy, but to advance past a certain point. The second battle sequence involves pursuing Setsuna and confronting the boss, Kagaku. A crucial decision point arises, where helping, or not helping, children dramatically impacts the flow of events and the subsequent battle. Kagaku is noted for its unique ability to move 2 squares at once and its powerful area attack, making surrounding it a recommended tactic despite its range. The guide provides strategic advice for both battles, emphasizing route planning and utilizing character abilities effectively to overcome obstacles and powerful foes like Kagaku. Chapter 4 centers on Iris, a spiritually gifted member of the Flower Division, and her emotional turmoil. Players can choose to date Iris, involving a dress-up minigame, or search for her when she goes missing, uncovering clues at the Grand Shrine. The date unfolds in Asakusa, culminating in a destructive manifestation of Iris's power at the cinema. Afterward, the team tries to comfort her, leading to a battle where Iris can join the team. The battle requires strategic gate manipulation using Iris's abilities, protecting her from attacks, and utilizing Ogami's cover to shield allies. The objective is to defeat the boss, Silver Mask, a powerful foe with multiple attacks and a devastating special move. This page delves into Chapter 5 of Sakura Wars, titled, Leaving the Imperial Theater for a Suspicious Abandoned Building. The focus shifts to the intense rivalry between Sulamire and Kana, highlighting their constant bickering, which is a recurring theme. After a heated argument, the team heads to a strategy meeting, where Obagami is tasked with investigating an abandoned building with Sulamire and Kana. The investigation involves exploring the maze-like interior of the building, which serves as the stage for this chapter's events. A key aspect is utilizing the map to navigate and uncover secrets. The main battle features a confrontation with Miroku, the boss of this chapter, and his phantoms, Red Hornets. The page details battle strategies, emphasizing positioning on the map and utilizing shortcuts to gain an advantage. It also suggests luring enemies together for efficient combats. The victory condition is defeating 6 specific red hornets that appear when Miroku reaches the top platform. Miroku himself is not directly targetable for victory. The page recommends using combined attacks between Kana and Sumire, or powerful special moves, to defeat the red hornets. Information is also provided on enemy types, including the large and small phantoms, outlining their stats and movement capabilities. This page provides a detailed update on the Sega Saturn port of Virtual On Cyber Troopers. It reveals that development is 70% complete and highlights original elements being added specifically for the Saturn version, going beyond a simple arcade port. Key additions include 3 new modes: a ranking mode to analyze player technique, a replay mode allowing players to save and rewatch their battles, and the inclusion of a CG movie mode. The report also unveils a new stage, the Space Dock, which takes the intense mech battles into the vacuum of space for the latter half of the game's simulation mode. An interview with the game's supervisor touches upon the development process, acknowledging the technical challenges of porting the high-speed arcade action to the Saturn, including the necessary adjustment from 60 frames per second down to 30. Despite this, he expresses confidence that the core gameplay feel and sense of speed have been successfully retained. The page also confirms the presence of the time attack mode from the arcade. Overall, the article conveys excitement that the Saturn version is shaping up well, incorporating features that offer new ways to enjoy the acclaimed mech combat. This page continues the extensive coverage of Virtual On Cyber Troopers, delving into specific details about the game's mechanical warriors and combat arenas. It introduces the distinct Virtualoids Belgdor, Balbazbo, and Raiden, though the focus is heavily on Belgdor. The article highlights Belgdor's visually striking and intentionally unbalanced design, noting how this unique form directly impacts its gameplay characteristics. It details Belgdor's powerful arsenal, covering the devastating grenade launcher on the right trigger, the area effect napalm attack from the left trigger, and the versatile homing missiles launched with both triggers simultaneously. The number of missiles fired is tied to the weapon gauge, offering different levels of attack power. Excitingly, the report confirms that the high-speed movement technique, a crucial element from the arcade version, has been successfully implemented in the Saturn port, allowing players to perform rapid dashes and shifts. The page also examines the Green Hills stage, designated as Stage 4 in the CPU battle mode. Described as a beautiful area surrounded by lush greenery, the strategic highlight is a prominent central hill, which players must utilize or avoid for tactical advantage. Screenshots showcase the stage environment and intense battles taking place there. Overall, this report demonstrates the depth of the Saturn port, focusing on character specifics and battleground strategies. This page continues the deep dive into Virtual On Cyber Troopers, shifting focus to the versatile Virtualoid Balbazbo. Presented as an all-range attacking transforming machine, Balbazbo is highlighted for its high mobility and proficiency in aerial combat, making it adept at unpredictable tactics. The report details its unique weapon set. The ring laser on the right trigger is noted for its ability to destroy incoming enemy projectiles, serving as a crucial defensive and offensive tool. The left trigger unleashes floating mines that chase down opponents, while the hand bits fired with both triggers offer a potent all-range assault, complemented by a reflective laser that bounces to hit foes. For close-quarters engagements, Balbazbo wields the beam claw for melee strikes and the fire flame, a ring of fire that can be stacked and pushes enemies back. The ruin stage is also examined. Described as having few obstacles, it offers high mobility, but strategically disadvantages characters who occupy lower ground against opponents on elevated positions. The stage features distinctive stone pillars with carved faces. A brief mention is made of the energy plant stage. Finally, the page showcases the character select screen, revealing the full roster of 8 Virtualoids, and promising a feature on all of them in the next issue. This page delves into high-level competitive strategy for Virtua Fighter 3, presented as an AM2 Lab fan special. It highlights major strategic shifts from Virtua Fighter 2, particularly focusing on the introduction and skillful use of the new escape button, or E button. The guide explains how the E button allows for complex movement and evasion, especially against different types of attacks, and when characters are turned around. The page also discusses the removal of certain mobility techniques like the continuous crouching quick and specific standing attacks, detailing how these changes impact gameplay and character strategies. Screenshots throughout the page illustrate the discussed techniques and evasions, featuring characters like Akira, Lao, Pai, Jackie, Wolf, Li-Fi, and Sarah, in various combat scenarios across different stages. Finally, the guide touches upon handling tough, commonly used combos seen in arcades, offering defensive strategies against them. This page provides a deep dive into the core strategic changes and new mechanics of Virtua Fighter 3. This page continues the AM2 Lab Fan Special Guide for Virtua Fighter 3, delving into the strategies for Akira and Kagemaru. Akira's section highlights his core game plan, relying on Remonto Jiri and high-risk, high-return plays involving the E button, contrasting with previous game strategies. It introduces his new technique, Hanshin Tanda, and shows combo sequences focusing on evasion follow-ups. Kagemaru's strategy is presented, focusing on elbow attacks and the Koen Raku technique for close-range combat, emphasizing the effective use of the E button for escapes. His new technique, Kage Yaiba, is also detailed, alongside combo examples illustrating sequences built around his key moves and evasions. This page continues the AM2 Lab Fan Special Guide for Virtua Fighter 3, focusing on the fighting styles of Pai-chan and Lao-chan. For Pai, the guide introduces her new technique, Tenshin Hitten Kyaku, a flashy spinning kick. Her basic strategy revolves around using Benten Seki Shitsu to control the flow of the fight and integrate mid-kicks and throws. Effective use of the E button for evasion leading into counterattacks is highlighted as crucial. Several combo techniques are shown, demonstrating how to chain moves after successfully evading or landing specific hits from her core stance. Lao's section details his evolution in Virtua Fighter 3, emphasizing his new angled attacks and powerful ground sweeps. His strategy utilizes the E button extensively for escapes and counters from various stances. The guide presents combination techniques starting from his angled strikes and back attacks, noting the effectiveness of his low attacks even when guarded. Specific combo examples are provided, illustrating sequences that leverage his core move set for high damage. This page continues the AM2 Lab Fan Special Guide for Virtua Fighter 3, focusing on Sarah Bryant and Jackie Bryant. For Sarah, the guide explains how her main strategy from Virtua Fighter 2 has changed, highlighting her new powerful torque kick jackknife and the extremely effective catch throw, rolling face crash. Her basic strategy involves mixing older defensive techniques with new mid-range attacks and using mix-ups to confuse opponents, with detailed combos shown from different scenarios. Jackie Bryant is described as very strong in Virtua Fighter 3, capable of dealing massive damage, especially with his combo elbow spin kick, which can take off up to half an opponent's health. His section introduces his new sadistic hanging knee throw and outlines strategies focused on controlling distance to land his key moves. Various high-damage combo sequences are detailed, demonstrating how to chain his attacks for maximum impact. This page continues the AM2 Lab Fan Special Guide for Virtua Fighter 3, this time covering Wolf Hawkfield and Jeffrey McWild. Wolf's section highlights his strategy centered on evasion and capitalizing with his powerful giant swing. A new move, the cross arm breaker, is introduced as a key part of his game. His guide details how to chain attacks like suppressing the opponent with a punch before going into a road drop, or linking double claw into a knee kick, stressing the importance of timing for effective throws. Jeffrey is noted as being particularly strong in VF3, focusing on his reliable near attacks and damaging throws. His new arm breaker from the side grab is showcased. The basic strategy involves using near attacks, which are safe on guard like in VF2, to pressure, and then aggressively seeking throws when the opponent is blocking. Combos often stem from moves like the power bomb or devil reverse claw, chaining into follow-up attacks or throws to maximize damage. This page continues the AM2 Lab Fan Special, focusing on Lion Rafale and Shun Dai in Virtua Fighter 3. Lion is highlighted for his strong throws and the addition of floating and air combos, suggesting this is the game where his potential truly shines. His new 7-star flying crab capture throw is noted as reliable. The basic strategy emphasizes evading attacks and countering, especially with throws, while the new techniques section showcases various combos and counters stemming from different situations like guarding an attack or being slightly close. Shundai is presented as a challenging, tricky character with a high-risk, high-reward playstyle centered on evasion and reading the opponent. His basic strategy involves anticipating attacks and countering with throws, particularly side throws. His unique drunken stance and drinking mechanic are mentioned as key elements. A new move, the stooping leg, is illustrated, and his continuous techniques section demonstrates intricate combos, often involving entering the drunken state. The content poses the question of whether Shun is primarily effective when utilizing his drunken style. This page focuses on Akoi, Uminokoji, and Takarashi in Virtua Fighter 3, diving into their specific techniques and strategies. Akoi Uminokoji is presented as a character defined by her parries, evasions, and throws. Her basic strategy revolves around reading the opponent and disrupting their rhythm through precise defensive actions and timely counters. The guide details her ability to cancel moves into parries or evasions, highlighting the importance of reacting quickly to the opponent's attacks. Her continuous techniques section emphasizes evading throws and countering from successful parries or guards, suggesting a playstyle focused on frustrating the opponent's offense. Takarashi is discussed as a character with potentially two differing playstyles: aggressive, utilizing big attacks, or more evasive and tactical, relying on smaller techniques and reads. The guide suggests the latter approach might be more effective. His new technique, a specific throw follow-up, is noted but deemed practically useless. His basic strategy involves careful positioning and knowing when to evade, particularly against lower attacks. The continuous techniques section focuses on evasion as a key tool, questioning whether successful evasions lead directly into powerful throws, and highlighting a useful floating combo despite his limited air game. This page announces the results of the Virtua Fighter Kids combo contest. The grand prize winner is Akira Yuki, featuring a dynamic combo with multiple hits. The excellent prize goes to two entrants, both showcasing impressive combos for Jeffrey McWild. The page highlights several other winning submissions, presenting screenshots and data for characters like Jeffrey, Shundai, Sarah Bryant, and Jackie Bryant. The development chief shares his thoughts on the contest and the creativity of the submitted combos. Finally, there's a reader mail section featuring fan art, including illustrations of Lion Rafal and Sarah Bryant. This page dives into the thrilling climax of Virtua Cop 2, offering a detailed look at the final stage, starting with Scene 1. It highlights the intense battle against a massive terrorist organization, causing widespread chaos. The action begins in a subway station, where players must clear out enemies to secure the area. The narrative then shifts to a high-speed pursuit, as the terrorists retreat by train, leading to dangerous shootouts both inside the moving cars and even outside on the train's exterior. The article points out the challenging nature of these encounters, with enemies popping out from various spots and requiring quick reflexes. It also mentions the appearance of helpful items, including powerful weapon upgrades like a machine gun, crucial for surviving the onslaught. The page provides multiple screenshots, showcasing the diverse environments and dynamic action of the final stage, emphasizing the scale of the terrorist threat. It concludes with a tease for Scene 2 of the last stage, suggesting the fight is far from over. This page is a large promotional spread for the Sega Saturn release of Ogre Battle, The March of the Black Queen, highlighting its upcoming launch and offering special campaigns, including a tarot card gift for reservations and a lottery for original goods by purchasing it, and Tactics Ogre. This page announces the release of Gameware Volume 3, a unique game room magazine on CD for the Sega Saturn. It highlights the expanding content available in this volume. The CD includes serial games, like the continuing adventure of Legend of Sarah Part 2, the puzzle game Ejifon, Bibit Boy's Great Adventure 3, and the quirky new title, Onisan. There's also an interactive advertisement for Chic Protector, presented as a puzzle game. Information sections delve into popular culture, with features on the band Denki Groove and the movie Mothra, alongside game information on Virtua Cop 2 and Sega Touring Car Championship. The disc also features a digital gallery showcasing user creations, a shopping section for merchandise, and a preview movie for the game Geka Mugentan Toriko. The page displays screenshots from many of these features, giving a glimpse of the varied content packed onto the disc, which was released on October 4th for 1,980 yen. This page showcases several Konami titles for the Sega Saturn. On the left, the main focus is a large advertisement for Sexy Parodius. It's a comedic and intense shooting game, featuring the classic Parodius characters, along with some more suggestive designs. The ad highlights its mix of humor, sexiness, and frantic shooting action, calling it the definitive version of the shooting game. It shows the release date of November 1st and the price of 4,800 yen, along with screenshots featuring gameplay and character select screens. On the right side, Konami promotes other Sega Saturn games they have released. This includes Tokimeki Memorial Tyson Puzzle Dama, a puzzle game featuring characters from the popular Tokimeki Memorial dating sim, and Policenauts, a cinematic adventure game from Hideo Kojima. Both are highlighted as being currently available for purchase. There's also a list of other popular Konami software available, covering various genres. An announcement section thanks players for participating in a past Sega Saturn software campaign. This page features two different games. On the left, we have a vibrant advertisement for Jikyu Oshibari Parodius, Forever With Me, a comedic horizontal shooter arriving on both Sega Saturn and PlayStation. This latest entry in the classic Parodius series brings back fan favorites like Vic Viper, Pentaru, and Twinbee, alongside new characters and plenty of goofy humor. It boasts two-player simultaneous play, includes announcer voices from the Twinbee series, and offers unique accident and bonus stages, plus a convenient save function. Konami is bringing this chowdick fun to Saturn on December 13th. The right side highlights Mighty Hits, a game compatible with the Sega Saturn's Virtua Gun. Instead of a standard ad, it presents a fun personality test flowchart to determine your gun type based on your actions in various scenarios. Are you a precise fork type, a reactive pitchy, a methodical Marina, or a relaxed Pancho? The test links your personality to the best approach for the game. Ultron is publishing Mighty Hits, scheduled for an October 18th release. This page is a terrifying spread dedicated to Alien Trilogy on the Sega Saturn. It features a massive, chilling close-up of the alien's head alongside a collage of intense gameplay screenshots. The text declares that the terror of space never ends, promising escalating horrors across areas like the reflex-freezing dead zone, the nightmarish red zone of extreme terror, and the hell zone of destruction and slaughter. The screenshots showcase the first-person shooter action against various xenomorphs in dark, claustrophobic environments, highlighting the game's atmosphere. Published by Acclaim, it promotes the game's release, stating it's Saturn now on sale. The next page showcases two distinct Sega Saturn titles. On the left is 3D Ultra Pinball, presented as the definitive action pinball experience. This game features highly detailed 3D tables with a space or alien theme, promising intense gameplay with explosions, flying debris, and challenging events like launching a starship. It looks like a dynamic take on classic pinball, leveraging the Saturn's capabilities for visual flair. The right side introduces Papa Breeder, described as a new concept life-form breeding game. Players take on the role of a goddess who guides animal-like creatures called paps. These paps are presented as animal angels, tasked with protecting the land and its inhabitants from various disasters. The gameplay involves raising and guiding the paps, who mature into reliable partners under the goddess's command. The section features character art for the various goddesses and the different types of paps, highlighting the game's unique blend of character interaction and creature management. This page features an advertisement for the 96 Autumn edition of the Daigi Hayashi Guidebook, offering over 9,000 game techniques and a catalog of over 5,700 titles across numerous platforms, including Nintendo 64, Super Famicom, Sega Saturn, PlayStation, and more, priced at 980 yen. This page prominently features an advertisement for Real Bout Fatal Fury on the Sega Saturn. It highlights the return of the iconic antagonist Geese Howard as the final boss, 4 years after his defeat. The ad also promotes the game's compatibility with the expansion RAM cartridge, which is included in a special bundle priced at 8,800 yen. Screenshots show explosive gameplay featuring characters like Geese Howard and Billy Kane, showcasing the game's fighting action. To the right, the Ranking Street section presents data and reader submissions, including sales rankings for Sega Saturn titles over 2 consecutive weeks. It lists the top-selling games, with Street Fighter Alpha 2 appearing high in the charts for both weeks. Other notable games in the rankings include Policenauts, Fighting Vipers, and Saturn Bomberman. This section also includes an index of features like game reviews and database information, suggesting it's a comprehensive data hub for Saturn fans. This page serves as an interactive postcard and entry form for the magazine's readers. The top section is a general feedback form addressed to Tokuma Shuten Intermedia, asking for reader input on various magazine sections like Ranking Street and the Game Research Institute. Readers can fill in their details and provide comments. The lower portion is a comprehensive contest entry form for Saturn Fan number 21. It features a prize giveaway section where readers can rank their desired Sega Saturn titles from a list of 18 options, including major releases like Real Bout Fatal Fury, Virtua Fighter Kids, Sakura Wars, Thunder Force V, and Virtua Cop 2. Alongside this is a score attack contest section, inviting readers to submit their high scores for a list of games, which includes titles like Real Bout Fatal Fury, Magical Drop 2, Tsukyu Gurentai, and Desert Tanks. Readers are instructed on how to submit their entries, emphasizing that any type of postcard is acceptable, even those with illustrations. This page is the Ranking Street section, featuring the reader rankings and game criticism. It announces that Fighting Vipers has taken the #1 spot by a significant margin based on reader feedback. The ranking table lists the top 13 games, including titles like Dark Savior, Alien Trilogy, Tetris Plus, the equivalent of Ultimate Ghost and Goblins, and Worldwide Soccer 96. The main focus is on reader reviews and comments about the top-ranked game, Fighting Vipers. Players praise its unique armor-breaking mechanic and distinct characters like Pepsi Man and Kuma-chan. They also comment on its visuals and training modes. However, some criticisms are raised, particularly regarding processing slowdowns during gameplay and comparisons to Virtua Fighter 2. Short positive and negative sentiments are summarized in the Sweet Whisperings and Bitter Whisperings sections, reflecting mixed feelings about aspects like input difficulty and technical performance, despite the overall positive reception. This page continues the Ranking Street feature, presenting games ranked from number 2 down to number 6. Each game entry includes its ranking, title, like Dark Savior, Alien Trilogy, Tetris Plus, Ultimate Ghost and Goblins, and Worldwide Soccer 96, a reader satisfaction score, and sections for reader feedback highlighting positive and negative points, plus a response from the developer. Readers comment on Dark Savior's unique 3D level design and controls, although some find certain aspects difficult or repetitive. Alien Trilogy is noted for its strong atmosphere and faithful representation of the source material, though motion sickness is a point of criticism. For Tetris Plus, the focus is on the distinct puzzle mode, which players find challenging and different from standard Tetris. Ultimate Ghost and Goblins receives feedback on its difficulty and puzzle elements, with the developer acknowledging the input. Worldwide Soccer 96 is discussed for its gameplay feel as a soccer title, with both praise and criticism, and the developer mentions future game prospects. This issue's Ranking Street features games ranked 7th to 13th based on reader feedback. 3D Lemmings, 7th. Rewards players once mechanics are understood. Japan Super Base Classic 96 8th. Offers surprising depth, despite some manual shortcomings. Olympic Soccer, 9th. Is praised for its initial impression, but lacks realism. Tokusu Kidutai J-SWAT, 10th. Impresses with its atmosphere but frustrates with gameplay limitations. Yellow Brick Road, 11th. Excels in preserving the Wizard of Oz story, with beautiful graphics and voice acting. Honkaku Pro Mahjong Tetsuman Special, 12th. Offers enjoyable gameplay with clean tile graphics. Tournament Leader, 13th. Provides simple controls for beginners but feels dated. The issue also promotes a game review contest for a chance to win prizes. The next page continues, Ranking Street, featuring reviews for 2 Saturn RPGs, Riglord Saga and Shining Wisdom. Riglord Saga receives a mixed review. While the story is decent and characters are a highlight, the battle system's limitations and SRPG mechanics are criticized, leaving the reviewer less than impressed. Shining Wisdom is reviewed as less impactful compared to earlier titles, described as an okay game but not a standout, though its unique bop and capture system and character designs are noted positively. The page also presents updated rankings, including a general popular ranking Best 30, and a specific popular and wanted ports ranking. These lists showcase games across genres like RPGs, fighters, simulations, and arcade ports that are currently popular or highly anticipated for porting to the Saturn. A dedicated section discusses the Wanted Ports Festival, highlighting reader desires for games like the PlayStation hit Resident Evil and the unique, conversation-focused title, Noel. It reflects on the high hopes players have for specific ports, acknowledging the challenges in realizing some of these wishes based on development timelines. The page concludes by calling for readers to submit reviews for older Saturn games. This page features the real-time game ranking, reflecting reader votes for currently popular Saturn titles. The big news is the tight competition at the top, between Tokimeki Memorial and Virtua Fighter 2, separated by just 16 points. The ranking table itself shows a wide variety of genres, including fighters, RPGs, and simulations, indicating diverse player interests. A dedicated article discusses a significant drop in points for Virtua Fighter 2, speculating whether the release of Fighting Vipers might be impacting its standing. Both are prominent 3D fighters on the system, and it seems the new contender is drawing attention. The ranking report commentary analyzes the overall landscape. It notes the continued strong ranking of games known for high difficulty, specifically mentioning Dark Savior. The report also looks ahead, announcing the upcoming appearance of Street Fighter Alpha 2 in the next issue's ranking, and pondering the potential effect on Street Fighter Zero, its predecessor. The commentator attributes the success of certain titles to factors beyond just sales or technical prowess, including depth and player engagement. This page dives deep into Romance of the Three Kingdoms V, offering a comprehensive strategy guide to help players conquer China. It outlines the fundamental steps for managing your domain efficiently, from internal affairs and diplomacy to understanding the nuances of formations and officer management. The guide emphasizes building national strength first, focusing on augmenting resources and recruiting skilled personnel. It explains how to attract and identify top senior officers, noting which types are essential for success. A key element discussed is leveraging officer aptitudes to maximize efficiency in internal development, with tips on prioritizing tasks based on officer stats. Gaining fame, crucial for attracting talent and improving relations, is covered, detailing methods like regular patrolling and evaluating officers. The page also highlights strategic diplomacy before military action, explaining how to use negotiation and plots to weaken enemies or secure alliances, even providing conditions for successful diplomatic efforts. Finally, the guide delves into the strategy system, presenting it as a way to undermine enemy forces through various schemes, stressing the importance of officer loyalty for these plots to succeed. It walks through the process, from setting targets to executing various tactics like spreading rumors or inciting rebellion. The next page continues the deep dive into Romance of the Three Kingdoms V, now focusing on battlefield strategy. It breaks down the 13 different formations available, explaining their strengths, weaknesses, and ideal terrain, emphasizing how selecting the right formation is crucial for victory. The guide details the 5 main formation types: mobility, attack, defense, archery, and water, explaining what each excels at, from rapid assaults to unbreakable defenses. It also touches upon special abilities that can turn the tide of battle, listing several key officers and their unique skills, such as Yu Zhiliang's mastery over weather and strategy, or Guan Yu's tactical prowess. The page also covers the development of new weapons like war chariots and fire arrows to enhance combat capabilities. Switching gears, the page also introduces Turf Wind 96, a horse breeding and racing simulation. It highlights the game's focus on using data from real-world foreign champion stallions to breed your own winners, featuring famous bloodlines and their characteristics. The page provides detailed data for numerous horses, including their stats like speed, stamina, and preferred distance, along with their sire and dam sire, offering insights into bloodline genetics. This section caters to fans of equestrian sports and strategic breeding simulations. This page continues a feature diving into the world of Legend of the Galactic Heroes, offering details for both existing fans and newcomers. This third installment focuses on the autocratic history of the Galactic Empire, describing its founding by Rudolf von Goldenbaum and his policies. It also profiles key figures of the era, including Rudolf himself, his close friend Siegfried Kircheiss, and Reinhard's older sister, Anna-Rose von Grunwald, accompanied by small illustrations and comedic manga panels depicting scenes related to the story. The main highlight, however, is the reveal for the Sega Saturn version of the adventure game Kakusei, Under Classmates. Featured prominently is a large, romantic illustration showcasing the game's new CG art. The page announces that this Saturn port from developer Elf will feature updated visuals and teases that the next page will introduce all 13 characters appearing in the game. Basic development information, such as the genre and current progress, is also provided. Finally, there's a small section soliciting fan letters about games like Legend of the Galactic Heroes from readers. This page continues the feature on the Sega Saturn port of Elf's beloved adventure game, Kakusei, giving us a detailed look at 6 of the key heroines you'll interact with. We are introduced to Reiko Shindo, the elegant yet somewhat aloof rich girl; Mizuho Yuki, the charming and popular school idol who is already a friend; Mayumi Tachibana, the energetic and seemingly experienced gal; Ryoko Kano, the cool and focused art club member, Miko Kamiyama, a gentle girl from a different class, and Tina, the mysterious transfer student from a southern country. Each character is profiled with information about their personality and connection to the protagonist, accompanied by beautiful new CG artwork that hints at emotional moments and different situations the player will encounter. A relationship diagram is also included, illustrating how the protagonist relates to these different girls. The overall feel is one of anticipation for the romantic possibilities and personal stories waiting to be uncovered in this final year of high school. This page continues the character profiles for Kakusei, introducing additional key female figures you'll encounter. We meet the lower-classmen, 3 younger students who add youthful energy to the game: Miyuki Iijima, Ai Minamizato, and Nana Minagawa. Their profiles describe their distinct personalities and relationships with the protagonist, from close friendships to admiration and simple senior-junior interactions, accompanied by vibrant screenshots showing their everyday lives and emotional moments. The page also highlights other women, characters who bring the charm of adults to the story. This group includes Mahoko Mochida, who works at a flower shop, Maki Midoratani, a lively girl from the fish market, Minatsu Yamashita, encountered at a cafe, and Shizuka Mitsuki, the protagonist's teacher. These characters offer interactions outside the school setting and add different perspectives and potential relationship paths, emphasizing the game's diverse cast and the many connections the player can forge. This page delves into the core gameplay of Kakusei, explaining what kind of game it is. It's presented as a dating simulation where you spend a year interacting with a total of 13 different girls. The article highlights the scenario writer, Masahito Hiruta, known for his work on games like Dukusei, and discusses whether Kakusei is related to that series, noting differences and similarities in gameplay structure and presentation. A key aspect covered is the relationship progression system, illustrated by a diagram showing steps from meeting a girl and engaging in conversation, to dating, kissing, petting, and eventually intimate scenes, with the idea that the girl's intimacy also improves over time. The piece also touches upon the expanding freedom players have in scheduling dates and activities compared to earlier titles, emphasizing practical dating strategies. Finally, there's a brief mention of a guidebook available for those eagerly awaiting the Sega Saturn version. This page introduces the mystery adventure game Amagishiin, set at a historic inn in Izu, where serial murders take place. As the protagonist, played by Matsumoto Conchita, you must investigate the inn and interview the guests to uncover the killer. The game features 3D exploration of the inn's interiors and utilizes live-action full-motion video for its scenes, which contribute to the tense atmosphere crafted by scenario writer Ramon Eugene. A key feature is the robust multiple-ending system, offering a remarkable 32 different conclusions based on the player's choices and findings throughout the investigation. The diverse cast of characters includes the inn owner, doctors, business figures, a religious leader, and other guests, all of whom are potential suspects you'll interact with to gather information and solve the case. This page dives deep into Tengai Makyo IV, the Apocalypse IV, highlighting the massive scope of this ambitious RPG. It features a detailed look at the game's extensive cast, including a relationship chart for the main protagonists like Reishin, Yumemi, and their companions, illustrating how their fates intertwine. The page also introduces the formidable villains, the 12 Apostles of Judgment, who serve under the ominous, absolute god, Sanetomo, giving a glimpse into the scale of the threat the heroes face across the American landscape. Furthermore, developers discuss the game's grand vision, underscoring the impressive data volume crammed onto 2 quadroms, filled with countless events and subgames. This feature demonstrates the developers' commitment to creating a truly vast and immersive world for players to explore. This page delves into the combat system of Tengai Makyo IV, the Apocalypse IV, specifically highlighting the main character's powerful special moves. The battle sequences are presented in a 3D perspective, with the main characters featured prominently on screen. Crucially, when powerful secret arts are unleashed, dedicated animation sequences are triggered, making these moments impactful despite the game's scale. The developers emphasize that characters move smoothly and are depicted at a large size during these animations. The page details Reishin's combat prowess, showcasing his signature moves like the Thunder Sword Year, a devastating strike targeting a single enemy, the Thunder King Wave Line, a magic-based attack dealing significant damage, and the Thunder Light Wave Line, another magic-powered attack, often utilizing his magic gun. Images illustrate the visual flair of these techniques.
Yumemi's unique ability, the Wrath of the Earth, is also featured.
This is described as a powerful attack that affects all enemies, drawing upon the natural power of the earth through prayer. The developer interview section at the bottom continues the discussion from the previous page, touching upon the game's horror theme and the scale of the world and its inhabitants. They mention the challenges and intent behind creating a terrifying yet engaging experience, referencing specific scenes and aspects like character voice acting, contributing to the atmosphere. The discussion reinforces the game's ambitious scope and the developer's dedication to crafting a deep and immersive adventure. This page dives deeper into the combat system of Tengai Makyo IV, the Apocalypse IV, specifically showcasing the special moves of enemy bosses. 3 formidable foes are introduced. Deadly Love Candy, who unleashes a devastating attack on the entire party. The End Ron Terry, whose special move deals 1.5 times normal damage, with a cheeky note asking if Oji Hiroi himself is the model for this character. And Meat Press Madame Apathy, another boss with a powerful party-wide attack that might also inflict mental damage. The images display the visual spectacle of their attacks. The developer interview continues, this time focusing on the overall structure of the game, particularly the event system, and the implementation of chibi characters. Developers Bamboo and Nagayama discuss the intricate process of editing the game's numerous events, likening it to movie production, and noting they have reviewed hundreds of sequences to ensure continuity. They explain that while called chibi characters, they are animated with significant detail, featuring around 20 different patterns of movement, including subtle facial changes, making them crucial for conveying personality and driving the narrative through dialogue and event scenes. The interview also briefly touches upon managing the large amount of data spread across 2 grids.
Screenshots illustrate the chibi characters within various game environments.
The Apocalypse IV is a deep dive into the game's production, exploring intriguing elements. It delves into the deep appeal of sub-characters, with a focus on the merchant Ashimoto and hints at his hidden motives. Mantle's private life reveals a luxurious, movie star-like existence for the enemy boss. The page showcases the Geisha Robo combination scene, featuring a transforming giant robot, complete with a theme song. It also offers a glimpse into the recording sessions, highlighting the voice actors and musicians involved, including Chisa Yokoyama, Machiko Soga, Leo Morimoto, Yukana Nogami, and Hironobu Kageyama. Finally, developers talk about the Apocalypse
4's full-picture music details the game's rich musical integration. Developers discuss the creation and use of 8 songs within events and cutscenes, emphasizing how music enhances the narrative and character development. The game offers a multimedia-rich experience, with extensive event data and lyrics incorporated into the presentation.
The next page focuses on Galaxy Fraulein Yuna, remix for the Sega Saturn. The main image features the protagonist, Yuna Kagurazaka, walking her dog. The article highlights the new elements in the Saturn version, specifically the extensive use of animation. The article discusses how the game enhances the original PC Engine version with beautiful animation visuals, improving the depth of the story. It mentions that the event scenes and battle sequences are fully animated. Screenshots show examples of these animations, including Yuna interacting with robot characters and character portraits. The quality of the animation is praised, noting it will be used in the opening and throughout the game to deepen the narrative. The page also introduces some key characters. There's a section on Misun Yoko, an enemy leader and one of the 13 elite subordinates, and a brief look at Kriya, a rival character with striking purple hair. The article emphasizes the charm of Yuna herself, and the added appeal brought by these visuals. The next page continues the coverage of Galaxy Fraulein Yuna, remix on the Sega Saturn, highlighting the battle between Yuna, the savior of light, and the 13 Dark Girls. The main section describes the game's core premise, where Yuna must defeat the Queen of Darkness's subordinates, each possessing unique abilities. Unlike the PC Engine version, the Saturn game incorporates full animation for battle scenes and space travel, deepening the narrative and visual experience. The page showcases several battlesuit designs for the 13 Dark Girls. Additionally, profiles for several other characters are featured: Kaka Ochanosuke, Mai Roppongi, Mario Hana, Hime Rock, and Kaede Yumioka, giving a glimpse into the supporting cast. The next page continues our deep dive into the world of Galaxy Fraulein Yuna, this time focusing on a special digital art book, Mika Akitaka Illust Works. This isn't the game itself, but a fantastic companion piece packed with over 100 illustrations of Yuna and her allies. You can simply press the L and R buttons to browse through the extensive collection. The software compiles illustrations from various sources, including those previously featured in magazines, and enhances them with added background graphics for a truly polished look, as noted by the magazine's comment on how beautiful they turned out. Beyond just the art, there are bonuses like voice actor information and character profiles, adding extra depth for fans. This particular title was a mail-order exclusive, making it a neat collector's item for dedicated Yuna enthusiasts, praised here for showcasing the character's charm and proud bodies.
This page dives deep into the world of Enemy Zero, offering a first look at the game's setting, the enigmatic spaceship Akigo. We see a detailed illustration of the ship's exterior, whose design is said to be inspired by the human heart, complete with 4 towers symbolizing the seasons. The magazine reveals the map for the first floor of the Akigo's Winter Tower, showing interconnected areas like Laura's room where the game begins, a storeroom, and an elevator. The article emphasizes the game's use of real-time 3D polygon graphics for exploration, detailing the player's movement capabilities within the ship's corridors. Screenshots provide glimpses into the game's oppressive atmosphere, showcasing Laura's starting point, the storage room with its conveyor belt, and a darkened elevator shaft, suggesting gameplay challenges involving power restoration. Adding to the game's artistic pedigree, there's an announcement for the Enemy Zero soundtrack, highlighting the involvement of renowned composer Michael Nyman. This page gives us a detailed look at 04 Champ Doozy J, the latest entry in the popular racing series. The big takeaway here is how much the game has powered up, blending intense street racing and deep car tuning with robust adventure and simulation elements. The core gameplay involves tuning real-world cars and competing in zero race battles to reach the top. However, victory isn't just about speed. The outcome of races impacts the story, which features an extensive adventure mode. This mode utilizes simple commands like move, talk, look, and item, allowing players to interact with the world and characters. A significant part of the simulation involves building relationships with various girls, influencing their growth, and even improving your tuning skills through dates. The game boasts a wealth of real cars that can be extensively tuned, far surpassing previous entries with more tuning categories and balanced adjustments crucial for victory. Beyond racing and dating, Doozy J introduces several minigames, including an RPG dungeon crawl and a quirky chicken race, adding layers of content. The page showcases a diverse cast of characters, including the hero, potential love interests, and rivals like John Edward from America, all contributing to the vibrant story. The visuals feature detailed character art, dynamic race screenshots, and informative tuning screens, giving a clear picture of this unique blend of genres. This page features updates on 2 distinct titles. On the left, we get a detailed look at Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story 2, Descendants of Gihren, showing off major improvements over its predecessor. Key highlights include support for twin-stick controls, promising more intuitive mobile suit handling, and powered-up weapon systems, featuring both beam sabers and heat hawks in action, plus a beefed-up Zaku cannon. Screenshots showcase dynamic combat sequences and introduce new mobile suits like the EZ-8 Gundam and the aquatic Zegok E. This looks like a significant evolution for the 3D shooting genre. The right side delves into Legend of the Galactic Heroes, a tactical space simulation game. The focus here is on fleet management and the strategic importance of characters like Reinhard von Lohengram and Wenli Yang, whose individual stats and abilities directly impact battle outcomes. The game emphasizes assembling fleets, assigning commanders, and executing tactical maneuvers on a strategic map. Screenshots display character portraits, detailed fleet statistics, and the tactical combat interface, suggesting a deep and engaging simulation experience based on the popular series. Both reports indicate these games are well into development and poised to deliver substantial experiences in their respective genres. This page provides updates on 2 anticipated Sega Saturn titles. On the left, we get another look at Dragon Master Silk, a dungeon-crawling RPG. The report highlights the game's core loop, exploring dungeons, interacting with suspicious environmental elements, and managing your party's status through detailed screens showing HP, MP, and character parameters. It also showcases various items you'll find to aid your adventure, like powerful weapons and armor, and provides a glimpse at the detailed CG artwork for the monsters you'll encounter, including some rather unique designs. The right side covers Dokusei 2, Classmates 2,
an adventure game known for its character interactions and narrative. The focus here is on the significant graphical enhancements for the Saturn version. The background graphics are particularly detailed, changing dynamically throughout the day to reflect different times like morning, day, evening, and night, adding a layer of realism and atmosphere. The report also touches upon the game's adult content, showing comparisons of the characters' CGS, including the revealing H scenes, suggesting they maintain fidelity to the original PC version. The improved graphics across the board seem to be a key selling point for this port. This page features information on an upcoming Sega Saturn title and a call for reader submissions for the magazine. On the left, we see Blast Chamber, known in Japan as Kyu Bakutsuku, developed by Activision. This is a unique human bomb sport where players strap time bombs to themselves and compete in a rotating 3D arena called the Cube. The goal is to grab crystals and throw them into a goal called the reactor before your timer runs out. The game supports 1 to 4 players in competitive modes, features 60 stages, and includes 5 different game types and tournament play. The screenshots showcase the multi-level, futuristic environments of the Cube. The right side announces a major reader participation drive for what appears to be a new or expanded section titled Useful Famimaga Weekly. They are recruiting submissions for a founding anniversary celebration, asking for messages to appear in the first issue, and illustrations to decorate game catalog entries. More importantly, they are seeking reader game reviews, where players can share their honest opinions on games they've purchased, highlighting both the good and bad points. This initiative aims to create a comprehensive reader-driven assessment of released titles. This page is a reader survey postcard designed to collect information about readers' gaming habits and preferences. It serves as a recruitment tool for the Famimaga Land Monitor program, likely seeking individuals to test or review games for the magazine, tying into the reader participation efforts highlighted on the previous page. The postcard asks for personal details such as address, name, phone number, age, gender, and occupation or school year. It delves into gaming life by querying favorite game genres, the criteria readers use when choosing games, and specific titles played recently. It also asks about the average time spent playing games and the number of games purchased annually. A significant section lists various gaming systems that readers might have played over the past year, covering a broad spectrum including Nintendo 64, PlayStation, Sega Saturn, Super Famicom, Famicom, Neo Geo, Mega Drive, PC Engine, Game Boy, Game Gear, Virtual Boy, 3DO, various PC platforms like DOS/V, Macintosh, PC-98, and MSX, plus arcade systems. This reflects the diverse gaming landscape of the era.
The survey also touches upon preferred real-world sports and asks for readers' thoughts on different game evaluation factors. This page is a massive announcement, heralding the arrival of a new weekly gaming publication from TIM, the respected publisher behind popular titles like Famimaga, Saturn Fan, and PS Mag. This new magazine, titled something akin to Friday's Helpful Guide, or simply Weekly, is set to be a comprehensive source for all things TV gaming, promising complete coverage of new releases, multi-angle reviews, reliable data, and in-depth strategy guides. It aims to be an essential resource for gamers. With its weekly release schedule, it boasts the ability to deliver news and info with unmatched speed. Packed with strategy guides, reviews, and tons of content, this looks like a serious contender for keeping gamers informed. The page highlights the launch date, October 18th, prominently displayed alongside the large weekly logo.
The next page details an exciting initiative tied to the new weekly magazine announced previously. Reader Reviewer Recruitment. They are looking for gamers to participate in a Reader Judgment program. The article explains how aspiring reviewers can visit Famimaga Land in Tokyo Shintokiba, a special location where they can play upcoming game releases before anyone else and provide their honest opinions directly to the editorial team. This is a great way for readers to get involved and influence the content of the new publication. A map and application details are provided for those interested in this unique opportunity. The right side features a spotlight on Lunar, Silver Star Story, highlighted as part of the RPG Big Six Collection 1. It teases the beginning of protagonist Alex's adventure, starting from his home village and setting off on a grand quest. Screenshots give a glimpse of the game's classic JRPG combat and impressive animated sequences, like the dragon battle. The page includes basic release information and promises insights into essential knowledge for the journey, as well as details from a pre-report and demo movie. Lunar is a beloved classic, and getting an early look like this is always a treat. This page serves as a comprehensive guide to the fundamental systems of Lunar Silver Star story. Building on the introduction from the previous page, it explains various aspects of gameplay, starting with exploring towns, interacting with villagers for information, shopping for equipment, and recovering HP and MP, including the importance of Althena statues. The guide details the status screen, highlighting how to manage equipment, check character stats, prepare for battles by setting tactics and formations, and use magic and items. It also covers essential functions like saving and loading your progress, and adjusting game settings, such as sound and message speed. The bottom section features a delightful comic report on the voice recording session, featuring actors like Ayahara, Zenobia, Machiko Toyoshima, Royce, Yusaku Yara, White Dragon, and Yasunori Masutani, Temjin. They share their experiences, voicing their characters, reflecting on the roles and the recording process for the game, with one actor humorously mentioning the difficulty of the game's final boss. This page delves into the early story beats of Lunar Silver Star story. Starting on Hanmel Island, it traces the journey of Alex from his home in Berg Village, inspired by the legendary Dragon Master Dine, leading him to the White Dragon's cave. There, he obtains the powerful Dragon Diamond after a challenge, using the flame ring to melt ice, blocking the path and facing monsters. The narrative then moves to Alex's decision to travel to Maribia to sell the Dragon Diamond, a valuable item. Ramus joins him, and surprisingly, Luna insists on accompanying them. The page highlights a strange dream Luna has before they depart, hinting at future events. Below, voice actors for key characters share their experiences. Mariko Kuda, who voices Luna, expresses her love for the role, and mentions how much she enjoys portraying Luna's growing feelings for Alex. Kiyoyuki Yanada, Galeon's voice actor, finds the character interesting and philosophical. Yuko Asada, Mia, describes her character as a bit aloof, but ultimately kind. Koichi Ishida, the voice of Alex, discusses the challenge of portraying the protagonist's growth. Akiko Hiramatsu, Nash, humorously remarks on the difficulty of emitting a natural voice for Nash. The section also mentions the voice recording sessions, noting that one day involved 7 hours of recording. After leaving Berg, Alex and his party journey through the Goat's Woods, meeting Lake, and arriving at Port Saith. Their journey to Maribia is blocked when Pirate Bacon steals their sea chart. They seek help from Mel, the Magic Master, in the Witch's Forest, joined by Nash, and acquire the chart. Returning to Saith, they fight Zelly to clear their path to Maribia. The page showcases pixel art screenshots of exploration and battles. The article highlights the game's innovative use of demo movies, a blend of traditional hand-drawn anime and computer graphics. This groundbreaking technique involves scanning hand-drawn animation, integrating CG elements like backgrounds and effects, and compositing them. This advanced approach, featuring examples like CG fireflies, provided a seamless visual experience for its time. This page dives deep into the mechanics of Ogre Battle, the March of the Black Queen, focusing on the intricate character and unit systems that define this legendary strategy, RPG. It highlights how player choices influence the protagonist, the opinion leader, whose personality and stats are determined by answering questions and selecting tarot cards at the start of the game. The article details the importance of character stats like strength, agility, intelligence, and luck, which vary greatly depending on the character's class and alignment. It also covers the unique alignment and charisma system, crucial for recruiting new characters and influencing the game's progression. Unit composition is key to success, with characters grouped into units of up to 5 or 4 for larger characters, considering their size, Nex or L, and movement types like grassland, mountain, forest, or water, which affect their effectiveness on different terrain. The page explains the class change system, where characters evolve into more powerful classes as they level up and meet certain requirements, often tied to alignment and stats. Screenshots showcase character status screens, unit formation, various movement types, and examples of class changes. The combat system relies on strategic unit placement and composition, emphasizing how terrain and character types impact battles. Overall, the page underscores the deep strategic layers and unique character development that make Ogre Battle a standout title. This page focuses on Tactics Ogre. Let us cling together for the Sega Saturn, showcasing its enhanced presentation and features over the original Super Famicom version. It opens by highlighting the rich cast of characters and complex tactical battles, noting the Saturn release includes original elements, like a full voice cast. The page follows the game's opening story flow, detailing the setup in the Valeria Islands and introducing the protagonist, Danam Pavel, a 16-year-old warrior. It mentions how player choices significantly impact the narrative, a recurring theme familiar to fans of the series. Screenshots illustrate key story moments and the game's visual fidelity, faithfully recreating the acclaimed graphics of the Super Famicom version. The article then moves to the first battle outside Almorica Castle, explaining that players will engage in tactical combat against enemies from the start. It emphasizes the importance of strategic planning and training units. A significant point is made about battles taking place on fields with varying height differences, a tactical element where higher ground provides an advantage in attack power. This contrasts with the automatic unit battles seen in Ogre Battle, focusing instead on direct unit control on a grid. The addition of a full voice cast for major characters is presented as a standout original feature for the Saturn version, featuring prominent voice actors. This page is dedicated to revealing new details about the upcoming RPG, Shining the Holy Ark. It features a striking illustration of the game's protagonist, Arthur, alongside a detailed world map of the Enriched Kingdom, the main setting for his adventure. The article, presented with commentary from Mr. Takahashi, a key figure in the Shining series, offers a glimpse into the game world. Screenshots show off the game's 3D environments, including exploring dungeons and walking through towns. We also see the turn-based battle system Yui, featuring the protagonist and party members, Arthur, Rorty, Akane, and Forte, with their HP displayed, facing off against an enemy like a wild hound. Mr. Takahashi shares insights into the game's design, noting a shift in worldview and themes compared to previous Shining titles, focusing on a good versus evil dynamic. He highlights the significant volume of content, mentioning over 16 towns and dungeons, promising a deep story and what is likely the largest scale for a 3D polygonal RPG at the time. The article confirms the game is nearing completion, reported at 95% developed. This page delves deeper into the mechanics and party members of Shining the Holy Ark. We learn about the crucial Investigate command, a staple in RPGs. But here, it's not just for finding hidden items or messages. The game incorporates tricks where investigating certain spots can trigger surprise events, like monsters jumping out, adding a layer of unexpectedness to exploration. This is shown with examples of investigating a mysterious hole and a graveyard. The exploration of 3D dungeons is also highlighted, emphasizing the freedom players have to look in all directions, up, down, left, and right. This is essential for navigating complex layouts and finding hidden treasures or paths that wouldn't be obvious from a fixed viewpoint. Mr. Takahashi points out that this perspective control is key to truly experiencing the scale and detail of the game's environments. Finally, the page introduces the core party members who will accompany Arthur on his quest. These include the Mage Forte, the Healer Melody, the Martial Artist Rhodey, and the Ninja Akane. Illustrations showcase their designs which, as Mr. Takahashi notes, move away from the more childlike styles of some previous Shining games towards a slightly more mature look. He explains that character design started with illustrations, followed by personality development to ensure they fit into the game's story and world. This page dives into Blazing Heroes, known as Riglord Saga 2 in Japan, showcasing its characters, story, and tactical gameplay. We're introduced to the main characters Mew and Rusty, and their initial confrontation with the invading forces of the mysterious nation of Kadar. Kadar is led by the shadowy Seven Elders and their powerful generals, Galzard and Raglos. The story kicks off with Kadar's attack on Dragoon Kingdom, where Mew and Rusty learn the basics of combat. However, the battle takes a sudden turn when a strange phenomenon engulfs Dragoon Castle, forcing Mew and Rusty to escape and begin their journey. The game features tactical battles on a grid, where movement and skills are crucial. Screenshots highlight the battlefield and character portraits. Interestingly, losing a battle doesn't necessarily mean game over. You might just restart the fight after a scolding from the Dragoon King. The page also features character art for Mew, Rusty, Galzard, and Raglos, giving a glimpse of the game's visual style. After the events at Dragoon Castle, Mew and Rusty embark on their adventure, looking for allies and a path forward. Mew and Rusty journey towards Yamatai country, seeking allies after escaping Dragoon Castle. They encounter Kadar forces and engage in grid-based combat. Stopping in Zaruma, they face skepticism before learning the invasion's scale. In Port Ultoma, they meet Captain Diana, who agrees to sail them to Yamatai. Screenshots showcase town exploration, dialogues, battles, and the sea journey. A developer interview for Blazing Heroes 2 reveals enhancements based on feedback. Improved controls, movement displays, and battle mechanics, including terrain elevation, are highlighted. The interview details the world setting, focusing on the Kadar nation and the internal conflict within Yamatai. New skills and graphical upgrades are mentioned, alongside character personalities and the core theme of human pride and respect. Developers express confidence in the sequel's improvements. This page dives into the mid-game climax of Langrisser 2, or Der Langrisser as it's known in the West. The page focuses on the story progression, highlighting key scenarios where the protagonist and their allies face major challenges. It covers the initial stages, scenarios 110, where two major forces, the likely a republic and another kingdom, likely the Rhaegar Empire in the English versions, are the main adversaries, leading the hero to gather allies and prepare for the main conflict. The plot thickens in the mid-game, scenarios 11-19, with the introduction of demonic forces, complicating the political landscape. The heroes must deal with this new threat, while still battling the established powers. The page then details the climax, scenarios 20 and 21, focusing on the critical mission to rescue Raimund and the final showdown against the Empire's main forces. Screenshots show character portraits during dialogue, and the classic grid-based tactical battles that define the series. Finally, it touches upon the resolution, describing the birth of a new kingdom, and hinting at the new conflicts that arise from the ashes of the old. The content clearly emphasizes the strategic depth and branching narrative that Der Langrisser is famous for, showcasing the shifting alliances and character interactions through various in-game events. This page is a comprehensive strategy guide for the classic Japanese dating simulation game, Dokusei If. As an expert player of this genre, I can tell you this guide focuses on efficiently navigating the game's time-sensitive mechanics. It provides character-specific timetables, listing the date, time, and location where you can encounter the game's heroines. The main purpose highlighted is to help players maximize their limited in-game time and successfully meet and build relationships with the various girls. The guide breaks down the analysis of the girls' daily routines. Featured on this page are strategy points and schedules for 5 key characters: Kyoko Sakuragi, Reiko Shingoji, Mai Sakuragi, Masumi Hori, and Hiromi Tamachi. Each character section offers specific advice tailored to their unique personality and route, complemented by screenshots showing key scenes or locations related to their story arcs. For instance, Kyoko's section notes her limited event count, while Masumi's highlights her challenging nature. These timetables are essential for players aiming for a perfect playthrough, or simply trying to find a specific character. The next page continues our deep dive into the classic dating sim Dokusei If, providing crucial strategy points for several more potential partners. This section focuses on 6 characters: Yayoi Kusanagi, Miho Suzuki, Satomi Kurokawa, Midori Takano, Chiharu Sakuma, and Kaori Naruse. For each girl, the guide offers essential timetables, detailing where and when you can encounter them throughout the game's calendar. These schedules are vital for efficient time management in Dokusei If. Beyond just locations, the page highlights specific key events and strategic tips unique to each character's route. For instance, it notes Yayoi's intertwined story and mentions a crucial event at the cinema for Miho's path. Satomi's guide points to an important home event, while Chiharu's route kicks off significantly with a meeting at the station. Midori is initially shy, with a key classroom event, and meeting Kaori at the Cat's Eye Bar is the starting point for her story. Screenshots illustrate some of these memorable scenes, giving players a visual cue for the events they should be aiming for. Mastering these specific points is the key to successfully navigating each character's storyline and achieving the desired outcome. This page details crucial character routes and schedules for Dokusei If, including key event timings and encounter locations. This page continues the comprehensive strategy guide for the classic dating simulation game Dokusei If. It provides essential information for pursuing relationships with 6 additional characters: Misako Tanaka, Natsuko Masagi, Mayuko Saito, Kurumi Inka, Akiko Saito, and Yoshiko Arizawa. For each girl, the guide includes detailed timetables indicating their location on specific dates and times, crucial for planning encounters. Beyond simple schedules, the page highlights pivotal events necessary to advance each character's storyline, often accompanied by illustrative screenshots. Key strategic advice is offered, such as necessary actions or dialogue choices at critical junctures. For example, it notes important events for Misako linked to injuries, Natsuko's frequenting of shops, and Mayuko's reliance on the school infirmary for events. Kurumi's route has vital points at the station and a park. Akiko is often found at the pharmacy, and a significant event for Yoshiko occurs at a construction site. This detailed breakdown provides players with the roadmap needed to successfully navigate the complex relationship mechanics of Dokusei, if for this set of characters.
This page offers a comprehensive strategy guide for Tokimeki Memorial Taisen Puzzle Dama, a competitive puzzle game featuring characters from the popular dating simulation series. It provides detailed tactics for engaging in battles and specific counter-strategies against the game's 11 characters. The guide delves into mastering the core mechanics, highlighting how to effectively utilize the Kodama blocks to construct various types of combos, such as straight, staircase, vertical, and horizontal formations, illustrated with screenshots. It emphasizes the importance of developing both offensive and defensive skills, offering tips on assessing the opponent's playstyle and level. Crucially, it explains techniques for recovering from difficult situations by digging holes to clear blocks, and advises on repeating attacks using 34 chain combos. The page also touches upon building large combos using fundamental techniques and adapting strategies based on the opponent character. Screenshots throughout the page demonstrate key moments and techniques in action. A small table provides basic game information, like genre and player count. This page dives into the nitty-gritty strategies for taking on each character in Tokimeki Memorial Taisen Puzzle Dama. It breaks down the attack patterns for all 11 main characters, including Asahina Yuko, Saotome Yumi, Mio Kisaragi, Mira Kagami, Ai Mihara, Shiori Fujisaki, Saki Nijino, Nozomi Kiyokawa, Yukari Koshiki, and Ayako Katagiri, plus the 2 tough male characters, Akai Hori and Tsukamoto Wataru, and even the final boss. For each opponent, the guide illustrates their typical block drop formations, whether they favor vertical stacks, horizontal lines, specific shapes like stairs, or patterns that build from the top or bottom. More importantly, it provides counter strategies, explaining the most effective way to chain blocks and send garbage back to disrupt their specific pattern. For instance, some characters are vulnerable to vertical chains, while others require quick horizontal attacks or specific clearing techniques to survive their onslaught. The guide emphasizes adapting your tactics based on the opponent's unique style to achieve victory. This page features an advertisement for Haunted Casino, an adult RPG casino game for the Sega Saturn. Rated 18+, it boasts 3D sound and features a cast of female characters, as depicted in the artwork and screenshot. The page also includes fan-focused content like the Conehead Club and free sections, where readers share their opinions and experiences with the Saturn and gaming rivalry with PlayStation. Additionally, there's a section dedicated to Street Fighter Alpha 3, offering tips or fan commentary on the popular fighting game, complete with character illustrations and a small comic strip. A short manga panel titled Manga to Go is also included. This page showcases fan contributions under the umbrella of We Are Supporters and the Conehead Club. The Tokimeki Fan Club section features reader mail and art dedicated to the popular dating sim Tokimeki Memorial, discussing gameplay experiences and characters. The illustration gallery displays a variety of fan-submitted artwork inspired by games like Riglord Saga 2, and includes creative takes, such as a parody titled Tokimeki Fighter 02. Fans of the strategy RPG Dragon Force share their thoughts and drawings in the Dragon Force Friends Association section. There's also a brief segment for the Night Peeing Club, discussing the game's sound. A short notice addresses an issue with fan submissions for Grandia. The page concludes with the SATA Fan Reader Mail Q&A, where readers ask questions about topics ranging from technical aspects like FM and PCM sound, to saving game data and personal gaming habits. It's a great look into the active fan community supporting these Saturn titles. This page is dedicated to the Conehead Club, showcasing a variety of fan contributions and community discussions. Sections like Reader Discussion and the Corn Kids Network Board feature reader opinions on game reviews, criticism, and upcoming titles such as Sakura Wars 2 and PlayStation releases. The Kids Hope section offers more thoughts, including reactions to games like Game Amusement Volume 3. There are also specific features like Taverse 25 Renge, which appears to be a ranking or discussion related to a sports game, and To Play Layers, focusing on feedback regarding game reviews. The Sega AM Free section highlights fan artwork inspired by Sega AM games, featuring illustrations from Virtua Cop 2, characters strongly resembling those from Fighting Vipers, and other creative pieces. Finally,
The submission rules section details how fans can contribute their letters, art, and photos to different areas of the magazine, including the illustration gallery and network board, fostering a strong connection with the readership. Sega is buzzing with activity. A new Joyopolis entertainment complex is opening in Shinjuku on October 4th, promising immersive attractions. The competitive spirit is alive with a national Virtua Fighter 3 tournament, leading to potential international competitions. Fans of Tokimeki Memorial can look forward to a live concert in November and a Patlabor Krudram art exhibition. The pickup section features new music releases, including tracks from Tokimeki Memorial, Ogre Battle, and Last Bronx. Finally, a giveaway offers prizes like photo crids, model kits, phone cards, and posters related to various Sega titles. Recent contest winners and upcoming Sega events, such as the Saturn 2nd Anniversary Caravan, are also mentioned. This page delves into the Sega Saturn database, showcasing all 370 titles released up to September 27, 1996, along with hardware and peripherals. A major feature commemorates the release of Fantasy Zone for Sega Ages, with developers sharing insights and memories about its creation, as well as reflecting on Space Harrier and Afterburner 2. There are also lists of games within the database, including top-ranking X-rated software and extensive lists of fighting and action titles. Additionally, the page includes a giveaway from the CS development team and solicits questions and comments from readers for future features. This page continues the comprehensive Sega Saturn database, presenting release titles categorized by genre. It includes listings for role-playing games with 19 titles, simulation with 31, adventure with 43, shooting with 43, sports with 32, and race with 17. For each game, the database provides essential information such as the publisher, release date, price, backup requirements, compatible peripherals, target age rating, a total score, and a relative ranking among all titles. This section showcases a wide variety of games across these genres, offering details crucial for players exploring the Saturn library. This page continues the extensive Saturn database, moving through different game genres and then detailing the hardware. You'll find lists for puzzle games, tabletop games covering board and card games, and dedicated sections for Go, Shogi, and Mahjong titles. There's also a category for educational and database software. Each entry follows the same format as the previous page, providing key details like publisher, release date, price, compatibility, and the overall score and ranking, which is incredibly useful for any player looking to build their collection. Following the game lists is a comprehensive guide to the Saturn hardware itself, detailing consoles, various controller types including joysticks and specialized input devices, and other peripherals like memory cards, modems, and video adapters. This section is invaluable for understanding the full capabilities and necessary accessories for the system. It's a detailed breakdown, covering everything from the console variants to niche accessories, making this database a truly essential reference for Saturn fans. This page is all about engaging with the readers through a survey and offering some sweet prizes. It's a chance for the fans to voice their opinions on the magazine's content and their gaming habits. The survey dives into everything from basic demographics and what other magazines you read, to your preferred gaming hardware and, crucially, your favorite Sega Saturn games from lists provided on the page. Speaking of lists, there are tables referencing specific articles from this issue, other gaming magazines, various hardware platforms, and a massive list of Saturn software titles you can pick from for the survey. It's a comprehensive way for the magazine to gauge reader interest and preferences. The incentive? A prize giveaway. Readers who fill out the survey and mail in the postcard have a chance to win copies of popular Saturn games like Virtua Fighter Remix, Shining Force 2i, Galaxy Force 2, Tokyo Mahjongland, Mighty Hit, or Jewels of the Oracle, plus a special Telesis prize, whatever that is. The page also provides clear instructions on how to fill out the postcard correctly, and the deadline for submission. There's even a section explaining different criteria for evaluating games, like character design and gameplay feel, likely related to how readers can provide feedback on specific titles. It's a great way to get feedback directly from the community. This page presents the results of a reader-focused quiz competition and offers strategy insights for a popular fighting game. On the left, we see the final standings for the Brain Battle Q Power Summer Tournament. This section announces the winner and top finishers of the quiz game competition, celebrating the participants' strong performance. Dominating the right side is a guide for Street Fighter Alpha 2. It introduces combat techniques for the new characters featured in this release. plus additional fighters. The page excitingly reveals how to access and use the hidden characters exclusive to the Saturn version, along with the necessary commands. Illustrations showcase several iconic fighters, including Akuma, Zangief, M. Bison, Sakura, Guy, and Gen, while small screenshots display character interactions. At the bottom, there is information regarding the Brain Battle Q game itself, noting its price and where to direct inquiries. The next page continues the Street Fighter Alpha 2 Strategy Guide, this time focusing on the boss character, M. Bison. It presents him as a highly technical fighter whose speed and powerful attacks are key to controlling the opponent. The guide details M. Bison's essential basic moves, categorized by their use in offense, anti-air, jumping attacks, and special techniques like the Psycho Shot, Head Press, and Psycho Crusher. Strategic advice is offered on utilizing his super combos, including the Psycho Crusher attack and Knee Press Nightmare, as well as his zero counters, punch and kick versions, and original combos at different gauge levels. The guide also provides tactics for linking moves effectively and specific strategies for challenging opponents like Birdie and even facing the computer-controlled M. Bison. Screenshots throughout the page demonstrate the visual execution of these moves and strategies. The next page continues the strategy guide for Street Fighter Alpha 2, this time focusing on the formidable character Akuma. He's presented as a powerful fighter, initially appearing in Super Street Fighter 2X, but more technical than Ryu and Ken. The guide highlights his moves like the Hadoken, Shoryuken, and Tatsumaki Senpukyaku, noting that while powerful, they require precise timing. Specific sections detail essential basic moves like crouching middle kick for pressure and standing strong punch for anti-air. Special techniques like the overhead kick and spinning kick are also covered. The guide then moves on to his powerful special moves and super combos, including the Air Hadoken, Masatsu Hadoken, and Masatsu Shoryuken. It discusses the strategic use of his zero counters and original combos at different gauge levels. Several screenshots illustrate Akuma executing these techniques against various opponents. The page concludes with tactical advice on how to approach challenging matchups, specifically against M. Bison, Vega, and the computer-controlled Akuma, offering specific counters to their common tactics. The overall tone suggests Akuma is a high-skill, high-record character whose mastery requires dedicated practice. This page dives into the world of Dan Hibiki in Street Fighter Alpha 2, presenting him as the series' quintessential joke or challenge character. Despite being labeled the weakest warrior, the guide emphasizes that winning with Dan is incredibly rewarding precisely because of the effort required. He excels at close-range combat and relies heavily on pressure with moves like his crouching medium kick. Meter management is crucial, especially for his unique taunts which build meter, and his powerful original combos, Oricon. The guide details his basic and special moves, noting their limitations like the short range of his Gadoken projectile and Shoryuken anti-air. It highlights his signature Dankukyaku kicks and meter-consuming legendary taunts. Screenshots throughout the page show Dan executing these moves and landing hits on opponents like Sakura and Ken. Super combos such as the Koryuken, Super Shoryuken, are discussed for their utility, as are his zero counters. A significant focus is placed on his original combos, particularly the level 3 version, which is described as essential for maximizing damage, with combinations involving his Dankukyaku and other specials. The page concludes with tactical advice for specific matchups, like using crouching medium kick pressure against Sakura and exploiting the weak AI of Dan. Ultimately, the content frames Dan as a character for players who enjoy a significant challenge and the satisfaction of winning against the odds. This page shifts focus to Dhalsim in Street Fighter Alpha 2, presenting him as the master of long-range combat who thrives on prediction and reaction speed. His stretchy limbs make him the quintessential zoner, dominating space with attacks like his standing punch and kick. Keeping opponents at bay is crucial, utilizing projectiles like the Yoga Fire and the larger Yoga Flame, which are vital for controlling the ground and disrupting approaches. The guide details his essential special moves, including the aerial drill kick and the unique Yoga Shock. It highlights defensive strategies as paramount for Dhalsim players. Super combos like Yoga Inferno offer significant damage, while Yoga Strike provides an aerial option. Alpha counters are key defensive tools, and his powerful original combos, especially the level 3 version, are crucial for converting opportunities into high damage by linking hits like the Yoga Blast after a slide. The page also offers specific tactical advice, such as how to approach the challenging matchup against Chun-Li and exploit the Dalsim's tendencies. Screenshots illustrate his key moves and combos, demonstrating his unique stretching attacks and fiery specials against various opponents. This page focuses on the Red Cyclone, Zangief, in Street Fighter Alpha 2, highlighting his devastating grappling game centered around the screw pile driver as the ultimate tool for victory. The guide covers his essential basic moves, like his standing medium kick, dynamite kick, for controlling space, and key anti-air options such as his jump attacks and crouching medium punch. His special moves include the signature screw pile driver and the banishing flat, useful for closing distance and breaking guards. The page details his powerful super combos, the final atomic buster, and aerial Russian slam, explaining how to land these devastating throws. It also covers his alpha counters and the impactful original combos, demonstrating how to chain attacks into high damage finishers, often culminating in a throw. Specific strategies are provided for dealing with different situations, including fighting in close quarters, and incorporating throws into combos. The page concludes with tactical advice for challenging matchups, including strategies against Charlie, and how to handle the Zangief. Warning against jumping attacks in these fights. Screenshots throughout illustrate Zangief executing his powerful techniques against various opponents. Sakura Kasugano in Street Fighter Alpha 2 is a character who excels at comeback combos despite lacking strong single hits. This guide details her gameplay, focusing on capitalizing on opportunities through continuous techniques. Key basic moves include zoning tools like crouching weak kick, and reliable anti-air options such as crouching weak punch. Jump attacks are also prioritized. Her flower kick is noted for its utility on wake-up. Her special moves include the Sakura Otoshi for counters and combo endings, a shorter-range Hadoken, and the Shun Pukyaku, her main combo tool. Her super combos include the multi-hitting Shinku Hadoken and the invincible Midar Sakura. Zero counters are also covered, with both punch and kick versions being reliable. The guide provides combo strategies for level 1 and 3 gauges, recommending specific high-damage finishers. Example combos and tactical advice for challenging matchups are included, like approaching Charlie, Nash, and strategies against the Sakura. Screenshots illustrate move executions and combos. The next page features a guide on Rolento from Street Fighter Alpha 2. He's described as the trickiest character, simple but effective, known for his free movement on screen. The guide highlights his ability to attack from various angles using his high jump and tools like the Stinger Knife attack. It covers his basic moves, including close-range options and reliable standing attacks, along with jump attacks and special moves. Key special moves detailed are the Patriot Circle, a close-range multi-hit attack, and the Stinger, a long-range knife toss that can be cancelled. Super combos include the Minesweeper, which drops grenades, and Take No Prisoners, a wire grab attack. His zero counters are presented as reliable defensive options. The guide also provides strategies for using original combos at different gauge levels, emphasizing high-damage sequences. Sample combos, such as jump strong kick into crouching medium kick into Patriot circles, are shown with screenshots. Finally, matchup advice is given for opponents like Sodom and Charlie, Nash. This page dives into the complex character gen in Street Fighter Alpha 2, highlighting his unique ability to switch between two distinct fighting styles, Soryu and Kiju. The guide emphasizes that mastering this stance switching is the key to playing Gen effectively, describing him as a highly technical character who offers the depth of two fighters in one. Soryu is presented as the stance for continuous offense and combos, while Kiju is used for tricky approaches and surprise attacks. The guide covers essential basic moves for both stances, detailing their use for poking, anti-air defense, jump attacks, and special normal moves. It then moves on to his signature special moves for each style, such as the multi-hitting 100 Rens and the anti-air climbing dragon in Soryu, contrasting them with the ground-skimming snake strike and the airborne crane kick in Kiju. Strategies are provided on when and why to switch between these styles. The super combos are also detailed for each stance, including the fast-moving shadow and the status-inflicting death charm for Soryu, and the bouncing snake bite and the erratic mantis strike for Kiju, all illustrated with action-packed screenshots showcasing his unique combat style.
This page continues the dive into Street Fighter Alpha 2, moving beyond Gen's basic styles to cover advanced techniques like his alpha counters and original combos, showcasing powerful applications at different gauge levels with screenshots. It also provides strategies for using Gen against specific opponents, like Ryu. The most exciting part is the section titled, Knowing 02 Mini Information, which spills the beans on hidden secrets. It details how to unlock and play as the overseas versions of Ryu, Zangief, and Dhalsim, listing the specific button sequences required. Crucially, it reveals how to unleash the formidable True Akuma, describing his boosted attack power, multi-hit air fireballs, and faster movement. The guide also explains how players can select their winning pose and message after a victory, adding a layer of personality, and how to choose specific stages for versus matches, including unlocking the boss stages. This page showcases two distinct titles, hitting the Sega Saturn and PlayStation. On the left, we have Street Racer Extra, a Chowdick kart racer promising simultaneous 8-player action, a major selling point. You can race with the whole screen split or individual windows, choosing from a roster of unique characters and their signature vehicles across 24 courses filled with hazards. It boasts a variety of gameplay modes and options to keep things fresh. It's slated for a December release at 5,800 yen. Brought to you by UBI Soft. On the right, the focus shifts to the strategic realm, with Langrisser 2, presented as a semi-real-time simulation RPG. The striking character art draws you in, hinting at the epic story. It's set to launch on October 18th for 6,200 yen. Fans will be keen to know about the limited edition special package, which includes exciting extras like a 3D hologram illustration sheet and a voice actor signed fanbook. A standard package is also available for 5,800 yen. This title is from the long-running series by Masaya/Nippon Computer Systems. This page features two simulation games coming to the Sega Saturn. On the left is an advertisement for Legend of Galactic Heroes, a tactical simulation set in space based on the popular anime series. The artwork shows key characters from the show alongside a large battleship. It highlights the grand scale of space battles and the strategic depth offered. The game is set to be released on November 29, 1996, priced at 5,800 yen. On the right, we have Master of Monsters, Neo Generations, a fantasy strategy simulation game. The art features a cast of diverse characters and showcases various aspects of the game through screenshots, including animated battles, detailed maps, different terrain types, and the ability to fuse monsters. This entry brings the classic System Soft simulation series to the Sega Saturn, promising over 130 types of monsters, extensive story and map modes, and map editing features. It was released on October 25, 1996, for 6,800 yen. This page is split between announcing an internet service provider for the Sega Saturn and news from a game developer. On the left, Interwave is promoting their Dial Q2-based internet service, emphasizing how easy and quick it is to get started with no complex sign-up process and pay-as-you-go billing. All you apparently need is your Saturn console and their dedicated modem. They also mention a new access point opening in Osaka with a special introductory rate. A detailed step-by-step guide with screenshots is included to show users exactly how to connect and configure their settings using the included software. The right side features an exciting announcement from Victor. They reveal that Pack-In Video and Victor Entertainment's interactive software division have merged to form a new company, Victor Interactive Software. Their stated goal is to create unique, creative games with a focus on bringing empathy and emotion to players. They list some of their previous successes, like the Nushitsuri fishing series and the racing game Wangen Dead Heat. More importantly, they tease a future lineup of titles across various platforms, including Fish Eyes, Hypersecurity SAS, and Moreka on Saturn, Mission, Impossible for Nintendo 64, the classic Road Horse Racing series, and the globally popular Tomb Raider, which is slated for both Saturn and PlayStation. It sounds like this merger aims to power up their development capabilities and bring some diverse titles to market. This page presents a point review section giving impressions on recent Sega Saturn software. The main focus is on Mahjong games, with 3 titles reviewed, alongside a notable compilation release. The first Mahjong game reviewed is Mahjong Tournament 2 Special. Reviewers found the AI a bit simple, but noted the visually appealing polygon graphics. It's seen as an average Mahjong title, scoring 6.2 overall. Next up is Gambler Jiko Chushinya, Tokyo Mahjongland,
based on the popular manga. This game was praised for its smooth pacing, unique character interactions, and engaging gameplay, earning a respectable 7.4 rating. The third Mahjong title, full-scale 4-player Mahjong, Celebrity Showdown Mahjong, the Where de Pawn, is highlighted for its focus on competitive matches and flashy presentation, described as having a strong gambling feel, resulting in a 6.2 score. Stepping away from Mahjong, the page also reviews Thunder Force Gold Pack 1, a compilation of classic Mega Drive entries in the renowned shooter series. This collection was highly praised for bringing these beloved titles to the Saturn with faithful ports, recognized as excellent games even by modern standards, achieving a strong 7.5 average score. The section provides a snapshot of recent Saturn releases, covering specific niche genres like Mahjong and celebrated classics in the shooter category.
This page continues the software impressions, covering a diverse range of genres. First up is Papu Bredar, a simulation game featuring cute characters and a relaxing pace, recommended for beginners despite some finding it a bit slow, earning a 5.6 average. Next is Gameware Volume 3, a minigame compilation praised for improving on previous volumes and offering varied content, scoring 6.0. The page then reviews Turfwind 96, a detailed horse racing simulation featuring jockey Take Utaka, seen as an orthodox title for fans of the sport and data, with a 5.6 score. Following that is Jewels of the Oracle, an atmospheric puzzle adventure set in ancient ruins, well regarded for its puzzle variety and immersive feel, scoring 5.8. Mighty Hit, a colorful 3D shooting game with unique mechanics and simple, enjoyable gameplay, stands out with a higher score of 7.2, recommended for those who enjoy varied shooting experiences. Finally, Braindead 13 is reviewed as an interactive animation game with excellent visuals and production values, despite challenging trial-and-error gameplay, receiving a 6.4 rating and recommended for fans of animated adventures. This page jumps into the competitive world of Mahjong with the featured game, The D. This title is based on a popular late-night TV show and lets you play Mahjong against 10 real Japanese celebrities, each with their own distinct playing style derived from actual match data. You can engage in free matches with customizable rules or observe AI games in spectator mode to analyze strategies. The game captures the show's atmosphere, complete with character dialogue, and dynamically adjusts difficulty based on your performance. The page also includes a roundtable discussion touching upon this game and other character-focused Mahjong titles, plus follow-up comments on previously reviewed games like Jewels of the Oracle and Turfwind. Brief introductions are also provided for other releases, including the Angelique Special Premium Box and the updated horse racing simulation, Winning Post 96 Program 96. This page dives deep into the quirky world of Tokyo Mahjongland. Gyuanji Bunryu, a Mahjong title based on the popular manga and anime. It boasts an impressive roster of 56 unique characters, a significant upgrade from previous versions, with enhanced graphics and animations. The core gameplay is standard 4-player Mahjong, but the focus is squarely on the character interactions and story elements. The game features 3 distinct modes. First, there's the story mode, where you choose to play as either Dora or Toyo-kun and unravel the mysteries of Tokyo Mahjongland through Mahjong matches. The choices you make influence the storyline and lead to different endings. Then there's the Date Mahjong Anniversary, a unique blend of dating sim and Mahjong, where you aim to win the hearts of the game's heroines, with relationships impacting the multiple endings. Finally, the free battle mode lets you challenge any of the 56 colorful characters with customizable rules. The page highlights the expressive character reactions during gameplay and showcases some of the animated story sequences, noting their smooth quality. The Saturn version also adds 4 new attractions, or minigames/modes, within the Tokyo Mahjongland theme park setting, further expanding the content and charm of this character-driven Mahjong adventure. This page introduces Papu Land, a unique simulation game where you guide adorable celestial beings called Papu to help people overcome disasters. The ultimate goal is to gain enough public support for your chosen young goddess to become the head goddess. Gameplay revolves around directing the Papu using simple commands and items. A key mechanic is using praise, Homaru, and scolding, Shikaru, to influence the Papu's behavior and actions as they learn from your reactions. There are 5 potential goddesses to choose from, each associated with an element like wind or light,
which affects the game's scenario. The Papu themselves are animal-shaped helpers with distinct personalities and abilities. Examples include the quiet Monshiman, the curious Momo, and the kind Cooler. An ability panel lets you customize their stats and give them unique skills. The game features 27 varied challenge stages, tasks like waking a sleeping sun or clearing land,
where you deploy your Papu to solve problems and gather support.
Brief summary. Papu Land is a charming simulation where you guide customizable Papu helpers to solve problems, using praise/scolding to help your chosen goddess rise to power.
This page features two distinct games. First up is Mighty Hits, a comical shooting game that supports the light gun peripheral. It boasts a variety of stages that go beyond just shooting, incorporating different gameplay styles. There's even a tournament mode for up to 8 players, adding a competitive edge. The game seems to offer diverse challenges across its stages. The second game is Jewels of the Oracle, presented as a puzzle game with an oriental flair. This is a 3D adventure where you explore ancient ruins, seeking hidden treasures by solving 24 different types of puzzles. A welcome feature is the lack of a time limit and the ability to retry puzzles, making it accessible for thoughtful problem-solving rather than rushed attempts. The game promises a mix of exploration and brain-teasing challenges. This page is dedicated to revealing Ultra Tech, or hidden techniques and cheats, for various Sega Saturn titles submitted by readers. The main focus is on Alien Trilogy, detailing password cheats for gaining all weapons and having infinite ammunition, making survival against the xenomorphs much easier. Other games featured include Sonic Wings Special, which offers command inputs for accessing all aircraft and fixing your shot direction, demonstrated with character select screens. Dynasty Warriors 2. Red Cliffs, known as Tenchi wo Kurao 2 in Japan, reveals a special mode accessible via a title screen input, allowing players to easily perform special and super moves. Steeldom shows how to access a clear graphic mode and the options to view character art. Saturn Bomberman features a tip for increasing the number of battle stages available. Finally, Tournament Leader has a secret about a hidden UFO on a specific hole, and Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's Slam Dunk shares a simple command for viewing replays. The page ranks the usefulness and uniqueness of these tips based on reader submissions. This page dives deep into the world of Sega Saturn's X-Band network service, focusing on the thrill of remote multiplayer matches from the comfort of your home. The article highlights the benefits of online play, contrasting it with arcade experiences, noting the ease of finding opponents across a wide area, though acknowledging that finding a match at certain times might require patience. The technical details are touched upon, explaining how X-Band uses a modem and a media card, and, importantly, that phone calls are involved in connecting to opponents, with call costs being a significant factor for players. The page also covers obtaining the necessary media card and how connect time is deducted. The process of setting up a match is outlined, from registering your information and sending messages to initiating or receiving calls. Screenshots prominently feature Sega Rally Championship Plus, showcasing gameplay, a connection screen indicating cities, Tokyo, Osaka, and even the unfortunate "you lose" screen reflecting the outcome of a match. The article also includes a brief section about Sega's updated homepage, promising an easier-to-understand layout, and links to relevant network pages. Overall, the piece presents X-Band as an exciting frontier for multiplayer gaming, detailing the system, its advantages, and the practicalities users need to consider, like costs and finding players. This page introduces Tsukyu Gurentai, an intense new vertical scrolling shooter from developer Raising, aiding in the West, making its debut on the STV arcade platform. Known for their challenging and complex shooters like Battle Garega and Sorcerer Striker, Raising delivers a game focused on strategic charge shots. The core mechanic is the unique web system, officially named NALS, All-Direction Target Fixing System, which automatically targets enemies within a large area and can be deployed as either a concentrated beam or a wide diffusion. Players select from 3 different ships, each with a distinct type of web: concentration, speed, or power. The page highlights how mastering the N.AL.S and understanding the different web types is crucial for achieving high scores and overcoming the game's formidable boss encounters. Screenshots display the chaotic on-screen action, detailed boss models like the Blackhawk and Don Ryu, the visual effect of the NALS targeting, and portraits of the pilots, Ryota Hibiki and Ryuta Misaki. A small giveaway campaign for game flyers is also mentioned. This page features a Coming Soon section, highlighting several upcoming games.
First up is Brain Dead 13, an animated, interactive movie game. It's presented with graphics resembling overseas cartoons and features a cast of monsters and a young electrician named Lance. Gameplay relies on precise timing and direction button inputs during events to progress through the bizarre mansion of Dr. Ponclara, encountering various eccentric characters like a seductive beauty salon owner and the Doctor himself. Next, Sengoku Blade, the sequel to Sengoku Ace, is a vertical scrolling shooter. Players can choose from returning characters like Hagane and Eunice, and the game features branching paths and numerous endings depending on character choices and combinations. The article also mentions a bonus disc containing character illustrations and other content. Finally, Purikura Daisakusen is an action game where players work to restore peace to Miracle World from a mechanical empire. The main characters, Clara and Keela, collect items to transform and boost their attack power as they face bosses at the end of each stage. This page provides a look at several titles coming soon to the console, spanning a variety of genres. First up is NHL Power Play 96, an ice hockey simulation striving for realism. It features actual NHL teams and players, rendered with motion capture for lifelike movement. A standout feature is the detailed replay mode, allowing players to view the action from multiple angles with zoom and camera control. The game promises authentic one-piece action. Next, based on the classic Chinese novel Water Margin, comes a strategy simulation game. Players step into a turbulent world, choosing from a large cast of heroes, building up their strength, and conquering land with the goal of establishing dominance. The game emphasizes the detailed characteristics and abilities of the numerous heroes you can recruit to your cause. MechWarrior 2, a popular 3D action title from PC, is also slated for release. This game puts players in the cockpit of massive customizable robots called battle mechs, engaging in fierce combat across various environments. Get ready to blast enemies to scrap metal in intense missions. Rounding out the previews are a few unique titles. From the Train Window of the World offers a different experience, presenting beautiful scenery and details of Swiss mountain railways. Like a virtual travelogue, there's also a mahjong game with a career mode where you play against various opponents to rise in the world, and a virtual boat race simulation offering realistic racing action along with training and instructional content for aspiring virtual racers. This page highlights upcoming releases covering racing, action, simulation, and more. Street Race Extra is a Chowtic 8-player racing game featuring comical characters and the ability to use weapons to hinder opponents in a wild rumble mode. Crazy Ivan puts you in a large robot suit defending Earth from aliens with a variety of weapons and missions. Magic Carpet is a 3D flying game where you collect mana to restore balance to a shattered world, battling monsters and destroying enemy castles across 25 stages. Eternal Melody is a simulation game where you travel to another world, gather magical treasures, and train a party of female characters for dungeon exploration. There's also a simulation of patch-a-slot machines, and a dating sim titled Roommate featuring a specific character. A section on new title trends mentions a Game Gear release and development tools like Saturn Basic, plus Space Invaders. This latest status report previews upcoming games, featuring screenshots, genre details, and developer comments. Major titles include Cyber Troopers Virtualon, over 70% complete, Riglord Saga 2, 100% complete, Virtua Cop 2, 80% done, Shining the Holy Ark, 65% complete, and Samurai Shodown 2-1, Blades of Blood, 70% done. Other games mentioned include Tactics Ogre, 50%, Enemy Zero, 50%, Grandia, 60%, Lunar, Eternal Blue, Mega CD content being ported, Legend of the Galactic Heroes, 81%, Assault Suits Lanos 2, 60%, and Galaxy Fraulein Yuna Remix, 70%. The report highlights a diverse range of genres and emphasizes the significant development progress of many anticipated titles, promising exciting releases for gamers. This page presents the new production sale calendar, an invaluable resource for anticipating upcoming Sega Saturn and Game Gear releases. It lists games scheduled from late 1996 through 1997, detailing tentative or confirmed release dates, developers, and prices. The calendar includes a guide explaining the symbols used, noting that the list comprises officially announced games, some with tentative names or prices, and indicators for compatibility with accessories like the modem or 1MB/4 MB RAM expansion carts. The Sega Saturn section features a comprehensive list covering releases from October, November, and December 1996, extending into January 1997 and beyond into the different seasons of 1997. It includes titles across various genres, listing both confirmed releases with specific dates and prices alongside many titles still under development with tentative information. Finally, a shorter list at the bottom details a few upcoming Game Gear releases, complete with their scheduled dates and pricing information. This page immediately grabs your attention with a vibrant illustration for Battle Athletes, a sports simulation game featuring hot-blooded anime girls. The title Daiundokai translates to Grand Sports Meet, and the text proudly proclaims it's a hot-blooded Bishoujo sports route SLG, scheduled for a November 96 release. This game is set in the year 4998 and is published by Increment Page. On the left, the magazine looks ahead to its next issue, highlighting a focus on upcoming Sega Saturn RPGs like Lunar, Silver Star Story, Langrisser 2i, and Mystic Dragoons. It also previews features on the mecha combat game Virtualon, with a screenshot shown lower on the page along with its price, and Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story. Expect detailed reports and strategy pages for these titles, indexes for the games covered within this issue, and advertisers are also present, providing a quick reference guide to the magazine's contents. An editorial note explains the magazine's commitment to covering both home console and arcade per percent games, emphasizing their fair judgment review philosophy based on reader feedback. This page features a large spread dedicated to the Sega Saturn title Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story 1, The Blue Destiny. The artwork showcases both a Federation GM-type mobile suit and a Zeon Zaku, highlighting the game's setting during the iconic One-Year War. The text emphasizes the game's compelling 3D action and dramatic scenario development, drawing players into the intense conflict. The Blue Destiny is presented as the first volume in a three-part series, with the second volume, Heirs to the Blue, released in early December 96, and the third, Judged, planned for spring 97. The game is currently on sale for a tentative price of 4,800 yen. The original mechanical design is handled by Kunio Okawara, with scenario supervision by Sunrise. Several screenshots offer glimpses of the game's environments and combat. Contact information for Bandai and their website are provided at the bottom.